Hey everybody, and welcome to another video, and I'm really excited to talk to you about today's topic, which is 3 tips for you in order to double the effectiveness of your website. These 3 tips are based off a book I read, and it is this one here called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. And I went away on holiday about 2 months ago now, and during that week off, I spent that week reading this book. I came back on the Friday and I implemented the things that I learned from this book over the weekend. And over the past few days, out of interest, I've been looking at my Google Analytics data for the month before I made the changes and compared that to the month after. I've realized that essentially it's doubled my website's effectiveness, and I'm going to go into 3 main takeaways from this book that are also going to help you drive your website forward. Just to quickly prove to you that it's improved my website making these changes, you can see here on the left from the 12th of June to the 12th of July, this is my performance. So that's for a whole month, and the 12th of July is the day I came back from holiday and before I started making any changes. And you can see here that I've got an average session duration of about 50 seconds and a bounce rate of about 35%, which is still a pretty good bounce rate. If we go over to the right hand side here, I spent the full weekend, 13th and 14th of July, making the changes, and then the following Monday, the 15th of July, through to the 16th of August, this is my data. And although I've got probably half the users in this amount of time, my session duration has improved and my bounce rate is more than cut in half, which means that people are staying on my site and navigating it, which is a massive plus. That is what we want. So the first takeaway, and pretty much the first thing that Donald talks about in this book, is to simplify your messaging. So to bring everything down to a very basic level, we all burn calories trying to understand things that we read, and we don't like doing this. So if we're reading something and it's not simple, it's not to the point, and we have to burn calories in order to actually understand it, then we just won't bother and we'll just forget about it and leave it, and we won't be interested in reading any further. So what I did was I essentially cut the amount of words on my website in half. So I went through and identified anything that wasn't providing some sort of value, anything that wasn't providing some sort of really necessary information for the reader, and I just deleted it. So what I'd do if I was you is I will go through your website and delete anything that doesn't bring some kind of value or some kind of important information that's completely necessary in order to convert them into your client. Another top tip is to stop positioning yourself as the hero. So what I mean by that is on your website you have most likely got paragraphs and paragraphs about who you are and what you do and what you've done and what you can do, and it's all me, I. Subconsciously, the reader will read through this and they'll assume that you think you're the hero in their story. We don't realize this, but we want to be the heroes in our own story. We want to be responsible for our own success. The exact same thing goes for your potential clients. They want to be the heroes in their own story and achieve what they want to achieve. What they are looking for, on the other hand, is a guide. Somebody to guide them on the way to achieving their goals and being the hero in their story. They may not realize it, but if you're trying to be the hero and the savior of the day and the rescuer for the things they're struggling with, then subconsciously they're not going to like this and feel like you're going to be stealing some of their limelight. I know it sounds totally insane, but subconsciously this is what we're thinking. So you may be thinking then, how do I position myself as a guide rather than I'm trying to be the hero of their story? The first thing to do is to delete any sections where you're just talking about yourself. Right now they don't want to know a massive lot about you. All they need to know about you is that you're the right person to be the guide in their story. They don't want to know where you're from or when you graduated or how long you've been playing the drums for. You may think that your bio and this information is the right sort of things that someone would want to know in order to assume that you're the right person for them, but this is not the case. This just adds to the confusion and makes them burn more calories while they're reading through this massive bio. All they want to know is that you're the right fit for them. There are only two things you need to do to position yourself as the guide. First of all, you've got to show empathy. You've got to use sentences like, "I understand that," or "I know you're frustrated. I've been there before too." Sentences like these bring you on the same page as them, and it shows them that you've been in the same position or you know how they're feeling. Once you've then empathized with the potential client, you then need to demonstrate authority. This is not unhealthy, territorial, pee on a lamppost sort of authority. This just shows that you know what you're doing. And this is not through a massive bio. This can be done through just putting reviews and testimonials on your websites, listing some awards or main achievements. Another good way to show authority and prove your competence is to show statistics. Things like how many streams you've helped bands get, or how many live shows you've played at, the highest charting single that you've worked with. These are the only things that you will need to prove your authority and competence, and then in turn position yourself as the guide in their story. The last tip, and arguably the most effective, is how to make the best first impression. And I think this one tip is the thing that stopped people from bouncing off my website and made them want to go down and read more. If you've never heard of the term above the fold, that is immediately what someone can see on your website as soon as they hit your page and before they start scrolling. Within 5 seconds of someone entering your site, they should know what you do, how that would benefit them, and then what action to take next. In terms of what you do, this should be very, very brief, and I'm talking about one sentence. If possible, maybe just limited to 4 or 5 words. Remember, people burn calories trying to understand things, so the simpler you can sum up what you do, the easier they will understand your messaging. The second thing that they'll need to know is how your service will benefit them. There are 2 types of problems that people face, and that is external and internal problems. External problems, for example, are things that you can see on the outside. That is a lack of projects or a lack of money. Internally, that would be I'm frustrated or I feel upset because I can't afford things. Internal problems are often how we feel, and external problems usually cause them feelings. So when you're describing how your services will benefit people, rather than tailoring your benefits towards solving their external problems, you want to focus on their internal problems. For example, rather than saying that you solved their problem by playing on their recordings, you actually solve their problems by helping them achieve their goals by giving them a good sounding song to release. Rather than focusing on the exact problem that you're solving, go a bit deeper and figure out what it is that you're helping the client achieve. Really focus in on what their internal problem might be and how your service enables you to help them conquer that problem. So those are my 3 tips taken straight from Donald Miller's Building a Story brand. If you'd like to go ahead and buy the book yourself, then I'd highly recommend it, because honestly today we've just been scratching the surface at some of the things that he talks about, and you could really dive in deeper with this and make some massive improvements to your website. I hope that you found this video useful today as much as I've enjoyed talking about it, because this is a subject that I am pretty passionate about. If you're watching this and you're an aspiring session drummer and you're lacking clients right now, then click the link below to download my 3-step guide to winning more session drumming clients. And this takes you through 3 simple and easy steps in order to look more professional online, engage with clients, and put yourself out there. It's totally free. It literally takes about 30 seconds to sign up. So click that link below if you're interested.